Welcome, everybody, to Who's Your Band. I am Jeffrey Paul. I am joined by my co host, Sean Morton. How are you, Sean?
I'm fucking old, Jeffrey. I'm old.
Oh, I know you're
I'm
getting
old. I'm
a
old and broken today.
couple of things to discuss. We'll talk about
Yeah,
your oldness and
yeah,
before we bring in our guests. First thing
yeah,
right off the list. We haven't been on in a couple of weeks because it was
yes.
summertime and there's a lot going on. One of the things that we kind of like built up to before we went on a little hiatus was Sean's special. And Sean's special turned out to be real. I'm not just saying that because it's Sean. And trust me, I don't want to say something nice to him. Okay.
Very true.
But it turned out to be really just a beautiful special night. It was planned perfect from head to toe, from like the show itself to I thought afterwards, the way Adam had set up that area for people to say a word and what the word at the end is going to be and who's going to say the last word. I don't want to give too much away for people going to see the special, but I just thought the whole thing was really done well. I thought it was handled with class, especially you, Sean. I mean, it was great, and thank you so much for having me be a part of it.
Listen, you know what? It was, like we talked, we did build it up a long time. It was 16 years in the making, finally. And then once you get everything locked in, then it's a whole different ball game. It's a whole different ball game. But, having you and Donna open it was fantastic. I think it came out okay. Not 100% sure because Adam still has all the fucking video and I haven't watched any of it yet. I'm not going to say anything, but maybe I just did. But
But Adam taking a long time to do something? No, that's not in his
no,
plan.
we're in no rush. We're going to have it out. It's going to be out between Thanksgiving and Christmas. That's the whole goal. But again, it was nerve-wracking because we are doing it in one take, and that was my biggest thing. And look, we'll give him a shout out here. He's a friend of the show. He's been on the show. I was picking Rich Voss's brain about 2 weeks before the taping, and he goes, "What's your biggest fear?" And I told him that I'm doing it in one shot because I'm a masochist. He goes, "Oh, I did one of my specials in one take. I did one joke 4 times, and I didn't know what he meant." He goes, "Yeah, you're paying a fucking editor. Use it for a reason." And once I had that, I was like, "Oh, all right, I can do that if I needed to." And there was a time I did 2 jokes twice. I redid them because I weren't happy with the way they came out. And no, we did good, man. We did 75 minutes, which we'll cut out. We'll cut down to about an hour, and then then real work's going to start. Then it's getting on serious and getting the promotions and the podcasts and the interviews and all that stuff. And then Adam, buckle up. We're going to work on number 2 for same time next year. So, but it was good. It was definitely good.
That was good stuff. So the other thing before we bring in our guest
Yeah.
is you and Adam, you two old farts went to go see Springsteen last night, and the two of you have been complaining about this, for almost 24 hours now.
Well, yes. And first of all, I have to give Adam credit because Adam went the day before. It was a 2-day festival called the See Here Now Festival,
Adam is nuts.
Saturday and Sunday.
That stupid
I
outdoor festival at the Jersey Shore.
never, I will never listen. I may never go outside in general, period, ever again, let alone go to an outdoor show like this ever. But it was an event. I gotta tell you, we got there. I would say close to 3 o'clock. I think that's when I met at. Well, I texted Adam. Took us an hour to get through.
How was this? How was the show? How was
The
Springsteen's
show was
set?
great. The show was on. They closed off fourth through seventh between on Asbury Park on Ocean Avenue. I parked somewhere in Barnegat and walked over. I mean, I felt like I walked for fucking 7 days to get over there, but they did it really well. 3 stages. We walked in. Cool and the Gang was playing. We heard some of them. Then we saw a tiny bit of Nora Jones, saw Action Bronson, took an hour break, watched Gaslight Anthem. They actually opened and had Springsteen play 2 songs at the very top of the show because Bruce was going on right after them. So they opened up a 2 song with Springsteen. They did a great set. Bruce played a set, dude. Like, I mean, I don't know how deep you go, Jeff, as far as
I only toured with
Springsteen
him
goes,
for
but
two years.
yeah, I know. I mean, this comes up every 3 fucking episodes,
Right. So
but
I really don't
what
know
I'm
his
saying
music
is
all
it
that well.
wasn't like it wasn't like a typical, Bruce will always change his set list up, which I think was great. But this was a catered set list for Asbury
I
Park.
know he debuted a lot of songs on the tour on that show.
He did stuff that he hasn't done in 7, 8 years. He did Thundercrack. He did Sandy. Does this bus stop at 82nd Street? I mean, Meeting Across the River. He did so many things that hasn't done in so many years. But like he took out some of the songs that I love,
Yeah,
but
like "Prove It All Night," my favorite song.
oh, it's one of my favorites too. But like, and that song "Ghost" that I love too, of the new record he took out, which I was fine with, But like, you get to hear some growing. He did oh God, I was just looking at the set list. I mean, it was. I've seen him over a dozen times. I mean, this was definitely one of the best shows I've ever been to as far as the set list goes.
And what's the name of the event called again? See and Hear?
See Here Now Festival. So for years, it's like the fifth or sixth year that they've done it. In the very beginning, they never announced the headliners. They would just book this festival. You'd buy the tickets, and you had no idea who you were going to go see. And then like they started getting smart. They were like, all right, we had Pearl Jam do it one year. They had
Foo
Foo
Fighters.
Fighters do it. So now they're announcing, but like the way it happened with Springsteen, because he had to cancel the shows because of COVID, and he had to put them on the back end of the tour. It just happened to be that it lined up where his last show was in Pittsburgh or Baltimore, I think Baltimore, and 2 days later was the See Here Now festival. So it would just lined up perfectly that he was able to do the festival. And I mean, that was a money cow. Let me just tell you, they made millions and millions of dollars off that episode, off of that
Well, Sean,
festival.
great insight into the festival. Listen, guys, we have a bunch of great shows now that we are back for the fall into the winter, and you know when it starts? Right now, because I want to bring in our guest. I've been wanting to rebook this guy for the longest time. He is a comedian. He's an actor. He has a podcast. Let's give it up for return guest Dave Juskow.
Hello, everybody.
Mr. Juskow. I love this guy. He's so funny. You know what? He's funny because he kind of gets it. And Dave, this is what I found out like after the last time you were on here. You do a podcast on Billy Joel.
Yeah, we just finished it actually. We went through every song he's ever written, and we did Zanzibar, and we wrapped it up.
Do you
How many
like the
times?
new song?
Yeah,
Love
good
it.
question. Yeah, me
I
too.
absolutely love it. And I went to the last concert at Madison Square Garden, and he didn't play it. Let me tell you something. I'm not a big Springsteen fan, but at least that guy mixes up his sets, so you're going to hear something fresh or different. Billy Joel never does anything different. It's really annoying.
He'll change the opener because I've seen him a couple of times on the residency. And one time he opened up with I saw the lights go down in Broadway, the Miami song.
That's what he
Okay.
did the
And
last night.
right. And then he'll also open up, I think, with A Matter of Trust.
Yeah, that sucks. And I
That
mean, that song blows, and when he opens with it, it blows even more. And it's fun to open with Miami 2017, which he did in the last night. We were sitting there the last night. People were paying. We saw online there were like $20,000 tickets, which is ridiculous. But let's just say there were like, thousands of dollars. People are waiting for something special, and nothing happened. He wouldn't even play the new song, and that's completely unacceptable. And like I said, nothing was different. There was no the celebrity guest or whatever was Axl Rose, and he stinks. Or he does now. I saw him there 30 years ago, and when he was terrific, and now he can't sing. And I mean, it might as well just me up there. We're the same weight and height, and it just our voices are going. I mean, it was bad, and that was not cool. We were expecting Paul McCartney to come out or anything different.
you would
And
think, right?
what?
You would think he would
I
brought
don't
some
even I was
Sting
so
again.
angry about it. We obviously did a podcast right after, and I was just I'm just done with him. I'm really angry about it. It's not cool to not he says it's like, "Oh, I'll just come. It's for the fans. It's for the fans." But it's clearly not for the fans. The people that go to the residency are going multiple times. It's not like you're just getting people their first time to a Billy Joel concert. I understand you got to play scenes from Italian Restaurant and all that crap, but just hit us with something you haven't played before, or something different, because most of us have been to that residency 100 times. When you go to a Springsteen concert and, you're somebody like Ross Zapin, I don't know if you know him. He's like the hugest Springsteen fan. He's been more than anybody I know. And, at least you get to see a different show every time.
Right.
And you're going to be
How
like,
many
wow, I
times
can't
can
believe
you?
he played this. Sean, you just said he played this, he played this, he didn't play this. I mean, that's what you want to talk about. Billy Joe, you're going to get the same set. You're going to get the same encore every time.
That's true. It's the exact same encore and the exact same uh way, same list. How many times can you hear Crystal sing River Deep
Oh my
Mountain High?
God. And there it is. And that's the perfect time, that stupid River of Dream song we shouldn't play anyway.
I
That's
hate
usually
it.
the time we go to the bathroom. And this time we're like, no, maybe somebody will come out in the middle. He can't possibly have Crystal play that stupid fucking song again this last night, a special night at the Garden. This is how bad it was. They raised a banner saying, he did whatever 150 shows, and it's next to the banner of Harry Styles doing 5 shows there in 1 week. Are you fucking kidding me? They're just throwing up jerseys out of the rafter now. It doesn't matter. It was pathetic.
Yeah, Taylor Swift got one for doing like a good 20-minute set.
Yeah, exactly. And so it meant nothing. It just made it even worse. But like he sang Live and Let Die with Axl Rose, right? Which was
Yeah,
cool.
that's good. I've never
That was
seen him do
good.
that.
But then we were like, why isn't Paul McCartney? We know they're friends. Why isn't he coming out and saying, guys, that's my song? And then go into some. I mean, that little thing would have been worth the ticket price of $2,500.
But no, you have to hear Mike Del Judas do
Oh my God,
whole lot of
Nessa
love.
What? Which one?
Whole lot of love. He does Zeppelin.
That one, and they did that. The Nessa's Stupid Dora,
And
and
that's
they
he
did
does that, yes.
the Stones one again. Right. Oh
Oh
my
yeah,
God.
start me up.
And
Oh, yeah.
here's the worst part. I don't know if you guys know. I mean, Sean, I guess you don't know, but clearly, Jeff, you've been to this stupid show.
I went to
mean,
I went to the show right before you, the second to last one.
okay, but you guys are comics, right? So you'll get this. That stupid innocent man bit he does.
Yes,
Like,
yes.
oh my God, he's like, hey, you guys, I've never done this before. I wrote this song in 1983, saying, well, this will be the last time I hit the high notes. Well, I'm going to give it a try and see what happens.
Yes, yes.
I mean, this was on TV. He put it on CBS. So it's like, that's the new comic rule ever since Louis C.K. Ruined everybody's life. You can't do the same material anymore. And then this guy just can't stop doing it. And it's been on television already.
110% right.
You remember how it used to be with comedy? Like, I don't know how old you guys are, but I mean, you
I'm
used
very
to
young.
go to a comic to see them do the material you loved. And now nobody does that anymore. I used to go see Rodney Dangerfield. Well, he would do, of course, you just want to hear all the old ones, but like somebody like Richard Klein. This is Richard Klein. That's from Three's Company. Richard Lewis.
You think of Robert Klein?
No, I was thinking of Robert Klein, yes. But Robert Klein, originally, we would think of Robert Klein. You're like, oh, I hope he does. I can't stop my leg or whatever, right? You're hoping he does that stuff. Nowadays, nobody gives you what you actually want. I mean, it's fine to hear the new stuff, but I kind of miss, like, sometimes I want to hear the old jokes just sprinkled in.
I'm working with a guy who does that. Next month, I'm working with Bob Nelson.
Oh no, that's a whole nother story. That's different. He should never do the same thing over and again. Sorry.
No, he will do Jiffy Jeff.
Oh, I know.
He'll do the
keep
bird.
To the end of time. Yes. That's different. We were just talking. We were wondering if he was still around. So now you've answered my question.
Yes,
I mean, that guy.
Does he do the arms bit too?
He don't do the arm bits.
Does he do the arm? Does he do the mannequins?
I don't know what's the mannequin one.
When the mannequins kiss each other and stuff like that, he doesn't do that bit either.
No, Bob Nelson's bit is the bird bit. He'll do Jiffy Jeff, which is the boxer, and he does the football player names.
Now, I mean, there's a guy. That's an interesting guy who had a moment in 1985 or whatever year that was. Oh my God, he was on top of the world. That shows you that. What was that? The Rodney Dangerfield special? Those comedy specials, the young comedian specials. They really used to be effective back then. Now, obviously, they're unnecessary.
Yeah, well, of course. I mean, everything has changed. But yeah, he was, I think, on the same one as Kinnison and Dice.
Yeah, I think so too. I think that was a crazy special that had those three guys. Yeah, that was nuts. And he was the guy. I mean, everyone was talking about him
Yes.
that next week. It was incredible.
Yes. And then I think he did a Tonight Show that he
Yeah, he
killed
was on
on.
fire for like a year, and then he did the boxer thing, and everybody was like, "That's all right," but nothing beat that football player thing. It, in a moment in time in comedy, it was incredible. But he never kind of got, kind of to that next thing, I
He
guess.
never became like a Seinfeld, you know. I mean, and
Well, yeah,
if you're in comedy, you kind of know who Bob Nelson is. If you're not, you probably forgot about him. Maybe you
right,
saw him in Kindergarten Cop or something.
right.
But speaking of TV, and Adam, cue up this first one. Speaking of TV, you're like me where you love terrible television.
It's
Okay.
true.
Like, in fact, I think bad television makes us happier than good television. Like, anyone could put together a Game of Thrones or a Sopranos,
Exactly.
but we're talking 80s version of Happy
Oh,
Days after they jumped the shark. Adam, can you play the Happy Days clip and I'll set it up once we get it up on the screen. Okay. Yeah. You know what I'm talking about, Adam?
well, I know what you're talking about already. Are
Okay.
you going to show Joni Loves Chachi? Because I could watch that
Oh,
opening
no,
credit
no, no, no.
sequence.
I hope that
I,
you
I
remember.
can go to bed right now, Dave, if that was the case.
Okay, so hold it right there. Okay. So this, now what we're about to see is, we're going to see a brand new sensation. This is when Happy Days has done everything, but they're still doing pretty good in the ratings. You can see Fonzie's not wearing the white t-shirt anymore. He's wearing the black t-shirt. Okay. He's clearly in his 40s, but he's still dressing like he's 19 years old. All right. And he's going to introduce a band and a new dance craze. Okay. And this is going to be called Do the Fonzie. Do you guys remember this?
I remember it.
Unfortunately, I do, Jeffrey.
Sean, you remember Do the Fonzie?
I was a huge Happy Days fan growing up, and I wound up getting the DVDs and watching the whole series like 4 times. So
I,
yeah, you can cue
I,
this.
I came across this and I was like, I cannot believe this actually made it on television.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, I have to get Juskow on this because there's a couple of things that we have to watch. Uh, Adam, let's see a little of this Do the Fonzie.
Which one's my camera? Oh, this one here. Yeah?
Look how cool he is.
How you doing out there? You want a new dance? I got a new dance, and it's going to be done by a friend of mine, soon to be a friend of yours. That's right, Leather Tuscadero, right now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, here she comes.
Easy Quattro.
He didn't fuck her.
And I'll tell you something. Leather is being backed up by some more friends of mine. Band.
That was hold on for a second there, Adam.
It's gonna be.
Yeah, that was the joke. And it's a running joke. He refers to the band as band. And listen to the crowd laughing. Like you would think this was like the debut of Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
I
Well,
don't know why
Leather
it's
was,
funny.
after the Pinky Tuscadero fiasco, Leather was the next big thing, supposedly.
Well, you know what happened with Pinky Tuscadero, right?
I do.
That's right. And for those of you who don't know, she was supposed to be a regular on the show, but supposedly she was such a bitch to work with.
And a
They kind of
mess.
a mess. Yeah.
You ever see her on
Roz
the Paul
Kelly.
Lynn Halloween special?
Of course I saw
Yeah.
it.
You
Come
and
on,
me.
man. Did you ever see Kiss on the Paul Lynn
Yeah.
Halloween
Isn't
special?
that incredible?
I can't believe
Ladies
they
and
did it.
gentlemen, kiss.
And he's kind of like teasing them a little bit too. Like, come on, Paul. And I didn't know he was gay.
Oh, really?
No, I had no gay. I just thought he was like funny and flamboyant, and he was
I
Uncle Arthur.
I love the fact that, he was gay, and he was just, that's why I felt like he was always laughing. Like everything he said had a gay overtone to it. So it was like, uh, listen, boys, like, just, have you seen the Paul Lynn show where he plays a dad married to a girl? It's just like every line is like, are you saying my daughter is an adult or something? I mean, he was so gay, and that's what made him so.
He was so gay,
Yeah.
but he fucking Paul
I
Lynn.
mean, if you can tell, the Pauline Halloween special has both Witchy Poo and the Wicked Witch of the West in one fell
That's right. It
swoop.
had
All
an
the
older
gay-eyed
Margaret
Hamilton.
Hamilton.
Now look, Mr. Lynn, you know very well today's Halloween.
The thing is, like out off of camera, Paul Lynn supposedly was like a raging anti-Semite.
Who? Oh, Paul Lynn.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, he was just a drunk.
Yeah,
So you know.
yeah, he was a drunk, but that was like supposedly the rumor. He was a big anti-Semite. All right, Adam, play a little bit more of Do the Fonzie. We got to see the dance.
It's called Do the Fonzie.
Do the Fonzie. Guys, this was on TV. 60 million people would watch this on a Tuesday night. Watch the way Fonzie dances. Do you think he wanted to do this?
I don't know. It's a good
Or do you think
question.
they kind of put him up to it? Like those were the kids. They were supposed to be into it. And the next day you were supposed to go to school and say, "Oh, we got to do the Fonzie."
Do the Fonzie.
Yeah. This is so cool. Look how cool Fonzie is to stand there. Oh my God. This was on TV. Just remember that. Look at this guy. Now all the kids, they can't control themselves and they got to come out and start dance and do the Fonzie. It's supposed to be the big dance craze. Even his jeans suck. Oh God.
I'll tell you though,
Adam, stop it.
he's
Yeah.
so cool. Like he
Mhm.
really is good. Like he's just so good at what he does in that character that although that's the stupidest thing ever, he still looks cool in it. Like he still found a way to like move and he moves well. And he's into like he was never complaining, from what you hear about people talking about him. He was a joy on the set, and obviously he could have been the biggest dick ever. And they wanted to call it Fonzie's Happy Days after this second season, and he's like, no, I don't want that. And Ron Howard was upset about it. Even Ron Howard was the star. He made sure Ron Howard was still first, even though Fonzie moved up the second credits. He was apparently a real team player, which is amazing. But when he's moving in that and he's in character, he's the best. I mean, when
Now,
we were kids, he was the greatest.
Adam, I got a question for you. Do you think we can carve out like maybe 2 or 3 hours where me, you, and Jeff can just get together? You can bring some equipment and we can have Jeff reenact the Fonzie. That way, that would be that's actually the direction I want to go is the new intro for my special. I would love to have Jeff
Well,
redoing
if
the
you can
Fonzie.
move that way,
I don't know if I can move like Fonzie.
I know he looked pretty good.
I mean, I could do
I can press your jeans though to make them look like Fonzie's jeans. Those are pretty horrific.
unfortunately, I have those jeans.
What a
I
surprise,
I
Jeffrey.
still wear those jeans. I
You
do.
know,
I do.
the story of him that I always used to have this joke that saying he must have had the greatest agent because if you ever read up on Happy Days, they did not want him. They wanted like a Sylvester Stallone type. And I always picture his agent going, well, we don't have that, but we got a Jewish guy with a winning smile you're going to like. I mean, it's amazing when you think about, because I teach at this university, right? So I
That's right.
teach this kind of stuff and try to explain to the kids how popular he was. You can't explain it when you're watching it. If you're if you're at 20, you can't possibly imagine when he did that motorcycle jump. I remember when he was about to do it and hit the jukebox and it didn't go on. I remember my dad going, he lost his power. Like everybody was all in. It's you can't explain it.
He was definitely a hero of mine growing up as a child. Like it was always
Me
him,
too.
him and Rocky. And so when I went to one of those autograph horror conventions
Like Chiller?
and Chiller, yeah. And
The one in
I'm not
Jersey.
yes, and I'm not a huge fan of paying for pictures and autographs and stuff like that. But I was like, you know what? This is Henry Winkler. This is definitely a hero of mine. You know what? I'm doing it. And I get up there and now mind you, I don't get starstruck. You know, we're all in this business a long time. We have all met some really huge fucking people. You know, it's not a big deal anymore. I was definitely a little starstruck when I met him. And the second he opened his mouth, he was no longer the Fonz. He was a Jewish grandfather.
Yeah, isn't that
It
funny?
was It's just the nicest, sweetest, like most caring, down to earth man. And in a way, it kind of ruined Fonzie for me.
Well, you know, it's funny. They have this thing, they where they do all these interviews for the like Emmy or TV, you know, whatever, the archives.
Mhm.
And he was explaining the character, and it's kind of funny because we forget it's a character sometimes until what you just saw. You're like, oh wait, it's a character because
Which shows he was a really good actor.
yeah,
Sure.
exactly. So he was telling the story how when they first became really successful, they were at a mall, him and Richie and Potsy and Ralph, and there was so many crowds, and they had to get to this limo. So he said he just went into the character, and then he goes, "Okay, everybody's got to move like the parting of the sea." And when he did it, like when you heard it, you're like, oh, it's a character. It's like I don't know why we didn't think of it. We're like, I mean, he was just so fucking good at that. But then when you hear the difference, like you said, he's like a Jewish grandfather. But then when he goes into the character, it takes you back, and it's incredible. Like even now, if he did that character for you and said one line in that, you would have been like, "Oh, I'm back." He's
Exactly.
Well, it's,
I'm watching this documentary. I don't know if you saw it, Jeff, on The Sopranos, the two-parter one that's on HBO Max.
no,
And it's the same
I
kind
would
of
love
thing
to
with
see something like
yeah, I
that.
want to see that too.
Yeah, it just came out. So I just watched the first episode. So it's kind of like the same kind of thing with James Gandolfini.
Oh, right,
Everybody
another voice.
kind of looks at him now as he's one of those few actors where no matter what he's done in his career, either before or after, he is Tony Soprano. And I think
Yeah.
Henry Winkler kind of falls into that category too. Like he's done a tremendous amount of things in his life, but he's always going to be remembered as the Fonz. So you're
Right,
always
but
going to have that card
sorry.
I
with
think the
him.
only other
But like,
thing that he was not the Fonz in was probably Waterboy.
Oh,
right,
that's true.
exactly. And I
Right.
would say the same
But
He
that's
people.
played
why it was so. That's why he was so beloved in Barry, and that's why people wanted him to win. Because it's
Oh,
just like
what a great
we all
show.
worship the Fonz. Adam Sandler clearly worshipped him, which is why he
yes,
had him in multiple movies.
right,
He just
right.
meant so much to us as kids.
You know
Barry
something?
was
It really wasn't supposed to be Henry Winkler. You know who went out for the part? I believe he turned it down. Was Mickey Dolenz.
Oh, that's right. I heard about that too.
And you had mentioned riding the motorcycle. He never rode the motorcycle. It was always a double. He rode
Oh, is
it
that
for
right?
maybe he only maybe rode it for a couple of feet in a scene, but he never really rode the
Oh, that's
motorcycle.
really funny.
Yeah. Okay, so if you think Do the Fonzie was cringe, and get the next one up. This one, I don't know, Dave, if you even saw this one. Okay. But do you remember the companion show to Happy Days was Laverne and Shirley?
Yes.
And there was a guy who after like people started to leave. Okay, I don't even know if Shirley's in the show anymore. This is
Yeah,
much,
I think it ended at well, her and Penny Marshall didn't seem to get along at the end.
right. Okay, so I don't think Lenny was there. Squiggy stayed. Lenny, I think,
Yeah.
is gone, and they tried to have a breakout star. And do you remember
Big
who that?
Ragu.
You got it. And
Right.
this one, and get it up, because this one is called Do the Carmine.
Oh,
And look at who the
is that Jay
host.
Leno?
It is a young black-haired Jay Leno.
I remember that.
Did you see this one?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I've seen all of Jay Leno's earlier work.
You've seen this bit.
I've seen this bit, and
um,
I've seen the Jay Leno on One Day at a Time as well.
Sean, you've never seen this, right?
this I have not seen.
Okay,
No.
to our audience, this is Jay Leno as the host, okay? And this is going to be the newest dance sensation, Do the Carmine. Show, hit it, Adam.
We have a new dance making its world premiere.
Hey, everybody.
When the history books write the story of rock and roll,
Free.
this
Got
cat's going to be chapter one. Here's Carmine doing Do the Carmine.
Adam, hold it for a second. Okay, now if you look over onto the left side of the screen, you see, the woman in the red. That's Laverne. She actually
What?
looks. Yeah,
Oh.
look, she looks pretty hot, don't you think?
I do. One of my friends slept with her and said that she had a very big vagina.
Really?
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I would say that is something I wouldn't have known.
See that,
No,
though.
no, that's worth
Yeah.
interrupting. Yeah, to know that Penny Marshall had a big vagina.
Yeah, I'll tell you the story after.
Okay, yeah, I met her once. She wasn't the friend. I met her actually more than once. I met her
I met her
twice.
too. She's very
Um,
nice.
yeah, she wasn't. The first time she was okay. Second time, not the nicest.
I heard that. I was lucky. I talked about her about sports, so we got along pretty well.
But look at her in this. I mean, her legs and her body looks pretty good.
I know. I didn't know it was her. I
Exactly,
was like
right?
turned on by her, and now I'm not.
All right. And
Also, that big vagina,
yeah, now it's when
And
we're
I
thinking
used the
about
polite word.
this big vagina. Okay, let's see. Do the Carmine. Also, they spent a lot of money on that set.
That is her.
She looks pretty good. It looked like the stage at New York Comedy Club. Sean, do you think you can do the Carmine?
He could do it, but maybe not in those pants.
For the old age bad hip. Yeah.
People were supposed to go out and go to clubs and do this. I can't believe Penny Marshall's actually doing it. Adam, can you hold it for a second? Did she have an executive credit on this?
On the show in general?
Yes.
Well, her brother was the producer, so I think towards the end she must have gotten some sort of thing. But I'll tell you the really interesting part about the weird part about this is that
Besides the big vagina?
besides that, this guy, I think his name's Eddie Mecca,
Yes.
was a really good dancer.
Yeah.
And the funny thing about this dude, the Carmine, he's not really dancing that much unless he pulls it out later.
Well, the whole thing is supposed to be the new dance craze.
Yeah, exactly. And the great part about this is, and this is the part you and I like, is that when Penny Marshall directed A League of Their Own, she had him in it in the big dance scene with Madonna. And I can't tell you, when I was in the movie theater and I'm like, oh my God, it's the big ragu. It made me so happy.
Yes, he was almost unrecognizable.
Well, it was
because he had gotten old.
Almost 20 years later.
Yeah,
But he was still a great dancer, and he's dancing with Madonna. And I love the fact that Penny Marshall and him were clearly still friends. Like, hey, you got to be in this dance scene. So I'm saying he's a really good dancer, and he's not really dancing.
Well, it's supposed to be that, because this is
what the Carmine.
Do you understand? Do you understand what's supposed to be happening here, Mr. Land? I was calling you Land, Mr. Juskow. What's supposed to be happening here is that you're supposed to watch this, and then as a kid, you're supposed to go out and go, listen, Friday night, guys, we got to go out and do the Carmine.
Right, I mean, but what is the Carmine? It's very confusing.
It's a very.
It's not like he hasn't really done anything to cause it to be the Carmine, except going just a kick here and a kick there.
But you kicked, like, he's explained. Let's watch a little bit more of it. Let's see if he explains the dance.
Let's see if it's more. like a hoedown. Like, we're take your partner.
All right. Let's see if I can figure this out. You got to spread your legs.
That's exactly what the Fonz was. The going down, the crouching, and then coming up. That was the fucking Fonz bit.
That was. And the big, you remember the big Fonz dance thing when he did like that kind of Russian dance when he.
Oh my God! After he walked his motorcycle like all those miles.
That's right, because
24-hour dance competition.
That's right.
That was incredible.
Do you remember who the antagonist in it was? She was kind of famous.
Tom Hanks. I know he was in one of
them.
No,
he fought Tom Hanks.
Yeah. Who was the antagonist in that one?
Charlene Tilton.
Oh, really? Oh,
from Dallas. Yeah, she was like the bitchy girl. What was that?
She had a big rack, right?
Yep,
She
that's what I
did
thought
it.
you said.
She
Yes,
was a little,
yes,
she
she
was a little
did.
girl with a big rack. Yes, and she remember she was big on Dallas.
You'll never go from rags to riches.
That was Carmine's thing. See, they want to like listen. He's kind of like a little bit of a sissy. He's a dancer and but he'll kick your ass because he's a Gold Gloves champion of Milwaukee.
Yeah, that's right. Meanwhile, the story, it's a comic. I don't know. Well, I guess I can. He's dead now, so it doesn't really matter. It's Dan Vitale. Did you ever know him? You
No,
guys?
No.
No. Living legend of New York comedy. He was on Saturday Night Live for a year. Living legend at the Improv. He was amazing. Just died 2 years ago. And so he was a mess, drug wise and stuff. And he went. Lorne Michaels loved him, so he took him to the Yankee game with uh, uh Garfunkel, Art Garfunkel, and him and Art Garfunkel got into a fight. And I finally had found out, like, only 5 years ago, that the fight was the fact that they were both dating Penny Marshall.
at the same time.
I guess. And they got into like a fight, and he punched Art Garfunkel, or Art Garfunkel punched him, and he threw up on Art Garfunkel, and it was all over Penny Marshall and her flappy vagina.
That's a great story. Well, if you like the Carmine and you like Fonzie, then this last clip that we hear is going to put both those things to shame. Okay. All right. Now, Adam, can you cue this up, please? All right. Now, I know both you guys were big fans of the Brady Bunch.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Of course.
Well, this is years after the Brady Bunch. Okay. They
The
tried to bring
Variety
the
Hour.
they tried to bring the Brady Bunch back. Okay. And I don't know if this one was from a variety hour show or if this was one of the one-off specials, but here they are doing a disco medley.
Oh, then
Okay.
that's from the Variety Hour.
Was that okay? You got it,
Yeah.
Adam?
The same people that did Donnie Marie and all those
Yes,
things.
yes. I think Donnie and Marie, was it on ice?
Yeah, they definitely had ice. All those shows on ABC had ice after a while.
Well, ice is very important to a
Yeah.
TV audience. Yes. And some had water. Okay. And this had a very gay Mike Brady. Okay. So let's see this one, Adam.
Well, we're ready to do the introduction to the finale. Where are the kids?
They're not coming out for this one, honey. We're going to do this by ourselves.
We always do this with the kids.
Well, the kids are going to be singing.
Why are they
dancing
even
disco
doing this?
songs, and they didn't figure they'd have enough energy for the introduction.
Like, is this supposed to be in the Brady Bunch
Wait a minute, aren't we gonna
universe?
dance and sing?
Well, sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
Makes the kids think we've got the energy to do
So
this
how did they get
introduction.
on TV then? If they
Well,
were the Brady
They
Bunch?
figure if we can have 6 of them.
Wait, no.
they're just
The
in
whole
for
the
energy.
Brady Bunch
They think
are
we're
in the
out.
show. They're in the whole show.
But they're in character. They're not, it's not Florence Henderson. It's Miss Brady. You got to see the choreography on this. I must have watched this over the weekend.
Oh no!
Probably-
I think there's about 10 episodes, and every week there's a dance number. And I mean, Christopher Knight has said he does not dance, and it's
Well,
always
none of
been
them
trouble.
dance.
Yeah,
Okay, I
No,
must have. I
Greg
must
can
have
move
watched,
a little bit.
I'm telling you, I must have watched this probably 1,000 times this weekend.
It's embarrassing. If you were black and watching this, you'd be really upset.
This is it. You saw the choreography, right? This is it. It doesn't change. That you turn your hand and you point.
See, they're letting her sing because that's the new jam.
Right. She's the only one that really can sing.
Right, she had some talent.
Yes. Eve Plum said there's no fucking way she's doing this.
And Greg can sing too.
Kind of. He thought this was going to break him out.
Oh, I know that.
No, he thought he was going to go on and have this big singing career. Bobby and Cindy, they can't do. They can barely keep up with us. Ooh, Mary McGregor song. Those were the days, but disco style. Did you ever see the Christmas special?
Oh, of course.
Oh, look at
Where she gets her voice back.
Yeah, oh, it's so that's cringe. But look at him. Look at Mike Brady. He can't sing.
Oh, he hates being there in general.
Yeah. He wanted to be taken serious.
All
Here
right.
comes Greg.
Adam, hold this one second.
Hold it for 1 sec.
So now we have Carol Brady, Or do you take Carol Brady, or do you take the mom from One Day at a Time, Bonnie Franklin? Who do you bang first?
Good question. It's a
Well,
very good one.
it's funny you word it that way because the mom from One Day at a Time used to be, I thought she was repulsive. However, in the pilot, she's very cute. And then she just aged really horribly right after. So
I think right after the pilot.
yeah, in the pilot, I might take Bonnie Franklin, but as far as the series goes, it's definitely going to be Florence Henderson. But both of them, nobody holds a candle up. Maureen McCormick really, truly is the hottest girl I ever. Just those bedroom eyes and the fucking sluttiness. Now knowing she would fuck guys for coke, that's so hot.
Adam, let's get back to this because this is supposed to be, what's Greg Brady's real name? Barry Williams.
Barry
This
Williams.
is yeah. This
I just saw him on TikTok yesterday. He took his daughter to the old set. It was really cute.
Okay, he's a good guy. He used to do a thing in Branson.
Yeah, I know, because he's been on Broadway and stuff. I mean, he was
on
trying to
Broadway.
make it, and for some reason, just
Wait, he wasn't on Broadway.
yeah, he was. I think he was in City of Angels, like in the '90s and stuff. I think he might have done Joseph in the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat.
I
they
know.
were
Like, Donny
always looking
Osmond did
for-
that.
Who?
Donny Osmond did it.
Yeah, Donny Osmond did that for sure. That's right. But then they would have people that like he never originated a role. He would come in later. They would try to get like a little juice, whatever's left of the show, and bring in, the guy from the Brady Bunch.
Now, yeah. Now here you see him, okay, and he really thinks hey, look, this is going to be the next part of my career, and I'm going to blow up. I'm going to be the next Michael Jackson. Play it, Adam.
Oh.
Whitest dancing ever.
Yeah.
Sean, do you think this is good dancing?
Not bad, Jeff.
Like I said, he's not awful. He didn't make the choreography.
Can you believe this was on network television?
Yeah, well, I remember it. I think Bruce Valanche wrote on it. He comments on it all the time.
Say it again.
I think Bruce Valanche.
Bruce Valanche. Yeah,
I think he wrote on it, so he comments on it all.
Do you know who this is?
Is that Freddie Prinze?
No. You'll know it in a second. Guy had a #1 record.
Rick Derringer. Rick Dees.
Oh my God, Rick Dees. Oh my God.
Look who they brought out on this special. The worst song ever. And then he had I think he tried to do other animals in his disco song.
That makes sense.
Tangerine.
Now they're just.
I love
It's just all gay.
So gay. Ah, look who this is.
The cast of What's Happening.
That's right. Remember Fred Berry?
Of course. Everybody likes watching him dance.
Did you see a fat guy who can move like that?
He's awesome.
Loved it.
And it's funny that the other black guys can't dance at all.
Do you know what Dee is doing now?
No, I know she went to college only because I talked to Ernest Thomas about her.
Yeah, she's a veterinarian.
Yeah, right. She became a doctor.
Yeah. Now, this is the theme song to Lucy, right?
Yeah.
So why is this in the disco medley?
I don't know.
Lucy disco.
Maybe is Lucille Ball on the show?
No. Why do you put Fred Berry off to the side? He should be front and center.
Yeah, agreed.
All right, Adam, stop it. That's incredible. This was my weekend. This is what I was doing. I was watching this. I
You
must have
get caught down the rabbit hole with this kind of stuff.
I
holy
know. I,
smoke.
mean, I don't know. Me and Adam saw Springsteen with 100,000 people on the beach of Asbury Park in a beautiful summer day while Jeff was listening to fucking show tunes, apparently.
I went
Yeah.
again. I
I
went
would
down this rabbit hole
I would take
between
Jeff's side on that one, I guess.
I was sitting on the couch watching, like, I was watching a little bit of college football before I had to go to my show on Saturday, and then Sunday I came back to revisit this. Okay, I'm watching the NFL, I'm watching Red Zone, but I'm really watching like different episodes of the Brady Bunch, like, but not the Brady Bunch show, like these different specials. And
Well, I
then
know, so I know the whole trajectory, it was the Brady this variety show. Then they bought the Brady Brides, which
yes,
was Marsha and Jan getting married. Then they had the Brady Bunch Christmas special, which
I
got
watch it every
renewed
year.
interest, a one-off, which got him into the Brady's, which was supposed to be like 30 something. And then it just all ended finally.
Yeah, the Brady's didn't last very long, and it was supposed to be serious.
Nothing
Yeah,
lasted long, right? They were trying to make it more like 30 something, that show that was very successful at the time.
that's right.
But
Peter
the
Horton.
Brady Brunch Christmas special was very good. I actually spoke to Martha Quinn, who was in it, who played Bobby's girlfriend in it, about it. And she said that she was at that. I said, what is it? Like she got to be in the house and be a Brady, And she's like, it was so surreal, because this was in the 80s. So it's 20 years later. And being a member, like, do you remember Ken Ober? Ken
Oh
Ober.
yes, yeah. He was on MTV.
Right. So he used to do the radio show with Susan Olsen, with Cindy in California. So he told me he went to her wedding. And I said, was that fun? Who did you sit with? He goes, I sat with the entire Brady family. It was
Wow.
nuts.
Was Mike Brady there?
I assume I don't know whether he was dead at that point or not. He might have been dead. But he would be because he loved the kids. He hated the show, but he loved the kids. So he definitely would have been invited, but I feel like he might have been dead by then.
Was Robbie Rist there?
No, I don't think they cared for him. But I got to meet him once too, because he does voiceovers. And it was exciting. I'm with you. Sean, I'm meeting these people like this. I'm friendly now, and this, Jeff, with Richard Klein, Larry from Three's Company.
Right.
And that's bigger than meeting anyone else in my world.
I am the same way. I mean, listen, I was not nervous talking with Pacino and De Niro. But if I was to run into Henry Winkler,
Right.
forget it.
What's the matter with us?
I don't know. I still think this is one of my favorite episodes too. We had Donnie Most on the show. And Sean and I spoke to Donnie Most. And
you got to speak with him on this show?
yeah, we loved him.
Oh,
He was
how
great.
fun.
Yeah.
Oh, that's exciting.
Good one.
He wants to be taken seriously as this.
Yeah, well,
and you got to call him Don.
See, that's the worst. That's what sucks. So, Natterman, Dan Natterman.
Yes.
He told me, they have the Comedy Cellar show, and they had Isaac from the Love Boat on, Ted Lang, and he would not talk about the Love Boat.
Then why are you on the show?
That's what I say. He goes, I only want to talk about this new play I'm doing, and I'm like, what an asshole. And I said, you should have just told him to leave, because I was furious. I mean, what do you do? Does he really think anyone gives a shit about anything he's done? And if he had done, that's the thing. If you're not okay with yourself 40 years later, you suck.
Agreed.
I mean, 40 years later, really, you can't just be grateful that you were on anything.
When you think, you watch the Love Boat, right? You think about the Love Boat, and it's a cruise ship. How small was that pool?
I don't know.
It's like
I mean, that set must have been incredible. And
was it a set, or were they actually on a ship?
I believe it started where they filmed on a ship, and then when it became a series, they moved to a set.
Oh, you can't do that.
Besides, like, the Alaska version or something, like
right,
the specials.
The 2 hour specials.
Right.
There was also nothing worse in the 70s, and MASH I know was more in the 80s, but there was nothing worse on these shows doing a special serious episode.
Yeah, well, again, MASH, you could let go because you had to, and even I just watched it before I came on here, the old ones from the 70s with the Frank Burns and everything, when it was fun.
And Wayne Rogers,
but they still had still had some of stuff was really serious, but in a good way.
They did that.
'Cause it's the
That was
war.
purpose. That was done on purpose, though.
Yeah,
They
exactly.
had
And if I got
they
to
had to
see,
show
did you
a
see the
hospital
Facts
scene.
of Life episode where Tootie became a prostitute?
There was not an episode of that.
There is. She gets taken into human trafficking.
That's
Yeah.
not true. Get the
No, I
fuck out of
swear,
here.
I just saw it
You
the
have to
other
make
day.
the one black cast member a prostitute.
Yeah, yeah. She runs into this girl and she's getting into prostitution, and you're like, "What the fuck is this? Are
You
you
like
kidding?"
popsicles, Tootie? You want to make some money sucking popsicles?
And but then I say again, it's called the. I mean, that's extreme, but it is called the Facts of Life, and of course, that's the joke of the very special episode. Is always like that, but it is called the Facts of Life. Maybe that was their plan. But like you're saying, when you're on does the Love Boat ever need to be serious ever?
It was
For real?
trite. It was
Right.
trite.
No, it was
The Facts of
awful, and
Life,
that's all we had, and we had no other
Arnold and
choices.
Dudley in the
Oh my
camp.
God! Right?
Oh, that's
Where
a
he got-
great one.
That's my favorite one. He goes like, and then he took my shirt off, then he tried to touch me.
Do you remember who? Do you
Now
remember
that
who
just
played?
makes me laugh when I see it with
So
Dudley.
funny. Do you guys remember who played the perv?
Yeah, Gordon Jump.
I know.
That's
Yeah.
right. The station manager from WKRP.
Gordon
That's it.
Jump.
Yeah. I think Arnold was over the house, but I mean, why didn't he molest Arnold? Why did he go after Dudley?
Well, I think Dudley stayed because, like Arnold seemed to know something was up, and Dudley stayed because he had, said, "I'll give you some ice cream or something." And Arnold was probably like, "We should get out of here." And he's like, "No, it sounds cool." And then he gave me something to make me sleepy, and then he tried to touch me.
Who was this? Like a young Jim Florentine? Did you?
Oh,
Oh, there it is.
yeah. See, narrowly escapes being recruited as a hooker. See,
Yeah, Tootie flouts the rules when she sneaks off to New York unchaperoned and nearly escapes being recruited to be a hooker.
and it's really funny when Mrs. Garrett comes in and everybody applauds, like, "Hey, what are you doing?"
Speaking of huge vaginas, Charlotte Ray.
Did you come in like the scene in Lesson Zero when Robert Downey was about to blow the guy and then Andrew McCarthy comes walking in? Was it like that? Tootie's about to go down on the guy, Mrs. Garrett. She's like, Tootie.
It's exactly like that.
No way. No, I gotta see this episode now.
Yeah, because the girl who was trying to recruit her, I think her name was Tammy Lauren, and she was on a lot of shows in the 70s and 80s. I used to find her attractive. I assume we were the same age at the time. So she was kind of sexy as a child prostitute.
That is great. I never saw that one. But I don't know. I kind of started to lose interest in Facts of Life when they started bringing in
When
Jerry.
they became teenagers.
No,
Jewel,
yeah.
Blair, you have to tell Mrs. Garrett to tell Tootie.
Yeah, I mean, come on. Did you ever see this one, Sean? She becomes like a semi-regular. She had cerebral palsy.
Cousin Jerry.
Cousin Jerry, yeah.
Jerry Jewel.
Cousin Jerry. Fucking great. I love Cousin Jerry. She's a stand-up.
Yeah, that's right. And she ended up in Deadwood. She actually got work after the Facts of Life, which is incredible.
Did you still have cerebral palsy?
No,
No,
that's
Jeff,
the funny
look
thing.
at-
I
look at
met
Facts
her
of Life.
and I go, "Hey, I really like what you do." And she goes, "Thanks a lot. Doing a character like that is not easy."
What's the name? The one who played Blair. She actually aged pretty good.
She looks great. She's on that show Collector's Call on MeTV, and she looks really good.
Yeah, I've got to be like early 60s, I think.
Yeah, definitely. I think I'm probably about the same age. She was on the Mickey Mouse Club when she first started. She was hot back then.
I thought Tootie was pretty.
I was Team Joe Polnicek. I was all about Nancy McKeon.
Really?
I could see you. I could see
I mean,
that for you.
there was something sexy about her. Obviously, she kept getting death threats because she wouldn't marry Michael J. Fox. So because they used to work together and go out. They were in like 3 things together.
She wasn't a lesbian?
I don't think so. No.
She gave off a very lesbian vibe. I didn't think she was sexy.
Yes, and then of course she wanted to be taken seriously, so she got some other show on like the USA Network or something. But like she won't come back and do these people that just don't seem to get it.
They don't get it.
I don't know.
Good, you take the bad.
That what?
So you take the good, you take the bad, I guess.
There you have.
Do you guys remember who her brother was?
Phil McKeon. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Phil, the guy from Alice, the son on Alice. Yes.
Yes. Adam. Adam, are you there? Uh, Adam, is there any way you can find the theme song to Alice?
I can sing it for you.
Yeah.
Early to
Uh,
bed, early to rise.
You know, you got to be more effective.
There's a new girl in town with a brand new style. She was just passing through. And if things work out, she's gonna ba a while.
Okay, what you did there, you only did the second verse.
Yeah,
Okay,
True.
yeah.
yeah, it was early to bed, early to rise. You know,
I couldn't remember the rest.
Adam, play it. Alice, I can't believe we're watching this.
Early to rise, early to bed.
Very jazzy, baby.
Did it backwards.
And in between, I cooked and cleaned and went out of my head.
She gets, as the seasons progress, she got more and more obnoxious singing this.
I
Yeah, Philip
agree.
McKean.
To see, I had to get up, get out from under and look for
Okay, now she's getting really get into this.
There's a new girl in town and she's looking good. There's
Dead.
a fresh, freckled face in the neighborhood. There's a new girl in town with a brand new style. She was just passing through, but if things work out, she's gonna stay a while.
Adam, can you go back a bit to where they show Flo?
I used to sing that song on
Right
stage.
there. Did either of you guys find Flo attractive in any way?
No.
No, and she's only 29 years old in this episode.
What? You're joking.
There's a thing that was floating around. I mean, I was laughing at it because a lot of them were my age. It was like they would show like Wilford Brimley when he did Cocoon was like my age now.
I saw that. I couldn't
You know,
believe
so
it.
and that was one of them. I think she was like either 29, maybe even
It
39.
cannot have been.
Even if she
Then
was
how did she not
39,
get cast
she
in
looked
Grease?
59.
Yeah, yeah, my God, right? Yeah, I think I'm
a
Stockard
lot younger.
Jennings' age now.
She
but
was
she was in
37
Grease.
years old. She was supposed to be in high school.
Yeah, I thought she was 57.
Oh my God. Yeah. I mean, Flo was supposed to be like the hot one and like going out at night after her shift and gang banging and fucking all guys. She was supposed to be so sexual and provocative. And
Ugh.
she was just like, she seemed like all musty and everything.
No, that was a tough show because there were no hot girls on that show.
There were not like Beth Howard wasn't pretty. Like she wasn't
No.
hot.
No,
You know, like, and Alice is probably like the best looking one.
and she's not. I never found her attractive until actually I saw her in this play with Tony Roberts and Michelle Lee, The Tale of the Allergist's Wife. And I remember she was such a good actor. By the intermission, I found her attractive. I'm like, hey, how do you like that?
Speaking of plays, I once went to go see M Butterfly and BD Wong was in it, and he shows like he
Well, I
full
think he
frontal nudity.
originated the role, didn't he?
I think he did, yeah. Him and John Lithgow.
Yeah, that's you saw the original production. You're saying
I did.
like in the was it early '80s or
That had to be
70s,
no, mid 80s.
mid '80s?
Yeah. Yeah, I was taking a theater class in college, and we would go like to see like off Broadway plays. We went to go see all types of different plays, and one of the things we got to do was see M Butterfly.
Good deal.
Oh, it was great. It was so good, but the best part of it, you got to see BD Wong's like completely naked.
Yeah, it's funny when you see those things when you're in high school. I saw Torch Song Trilogy when I was in
Harvey
1981.
Firestein.
Yeah, I mean, yipes. We didn't know what we were in for. It's 3.5 hours of just gayness. And me and my friend just went, like our theater teacher said, "Oh, you got to see it." And we were like, "What the hell? What is happening?"
Who else was in it when you saw it?
I don't think we saw it with Matthew Broderick. I think we saw it with Doug McKeon, who was in the Golden, the one with Henry Fonda and
On Golden Pond?
on Golden Pond. I think he was the one in it, but otherwise, there's Harvey Firestein was by himself in the first, 45 minutes, and then there's three different things.
I never saw the play, but I saw the movie.
Yeah, the movie's not very good.
No, but I could watch.
That's why it was crazy that Matthew Broderick in the play played his son, but in the movie played his lover.
Was his son David?
I don't remember the name.
David. No, I'm thinking of no, I'm thinking of what's that
I'm thinking
show?
of Judd
David.
Hirsch. I'm thinking of Judd Hirsch
I'm
from
thinking Judd Hirsch in what's
My
that
Son
movie?
David.
Yes,
My Son
Independence
David.
Day.
Oh, and right, and the Will Smith movie.
Yeah, my David.
Right.
You would know nothing with my David.
Nobody's
Yeah.
perfect.
Best Jew ever in a movie.
Yeah, or the worst. It could go either way.
He was so Jewish in that
So
movie.
Jewy,
Oh
which
my
is kind
God.
of funny because in Taxi, you never knew what he was.
No, but supposedly, okay, and we had her on the radio show
Mary
on
Lou Henner.
101.5. Yeah, we had Mary Lou Henner on, and supposedly she was dating just about everybody.
Yeah, she was real whore. Yeah, it's great. And like, and not because she was a whore, she just had a good time. So she was dating Bobby and Judd Hirsch.
Yeah,
in
Judd
Taxi.
Hirsch.
Yeah, isn't
How
that
does
cool?
he get her?
Because she's like Sarah Silverman. She just likes guys for their talent.
Yeah, I mean, she dated Travolta.
Yeah. Well, she's so hot.
So hot.
Really hot.
Absolutely. Yeah, especially like on
And she has
Taxi.
total recall too. Did you know that?
Yeah.
What does
Yeah,
that mean?
She can remember dates and where
Every
she was,
minutia.
if it was raining, like that. It's insane.
Is that a form of
Like
autism?
I feel it is, right, Sean?
it
I mean,
has to be, sure. Think like if I said, Jeff, where were you on, June 13th, 2007? And you'd be like, how the fuck do I know? And she would go, oh, that's the day where we were in Mystic, Connecticut. So we got up early and we had bagels, but we didn't get them from the place that was down the road that we used to go to. We always go to. Now we went to this new place on Main Street and it was great because they had like, scallion cream cheese on the bagel. It was really like, that's total recall.
yeah,
Oh,
We
wow.
that's
remember
something else.
every little minutia of everything.
That'd be like it would suck to get into an argument with somebody like that.
Yeah.
Like they
You
would
can't
know
argue with
everything.
somebody like that.
No,
It's
no,
called a
you
woman.
can't. Yeah. Um, Dave, I gotta tell you, man, I gotta thank you so much once again for coming on and doing this.
It's so much fun. Like you tailor made the show for me today. Phil.
Well, like I said, there's certain people you can go down this road with, and you are always like the first person I think of when it comes to like bad television and this type of like I know you're gonna get it and
Yeah.
you
So,
understand the references.
I told you I teach at this university in New Jersey, and I'm teaching an 80s class. So last week was my lecture on the 80s. And at the end, I get to television. And I was talking about those syndicated shows in the 80s, like Out of This World, where the girl has the alien mom who was Donna Pescow from Saturday Night Fever.
Oh, sure,
yeah,
yeah.
great.
Yeah,
Her
and
dad was in the box that opened up and it glowed
that's right.
and shit like that.
That's right. And
What was
a
the one with the
Small
girl?
Wonder. Small
So that was
Wonder.
that. Yeah, the girl was a robot,
The
right?
robot. So I had them guess, what do you think this show's about? After they looked at it, I'm like, she's a robot? Correct. Alf, of course. I was just showing everything. I love that bad TV from that decade, let alone the 70s.
Alf got on network television though.
What?
Alf was on network television.
Alf was on network. I know, but I was just talking
Small
about the
Wonder, I
80s.
think, was on like Channel 11.
Yeah, that was syndicated. But I showed him Madam's Place with Waylon Flowers and Madam. There were 100 episodes of that stupid puppet show.
I don't think I've ever seen one episode of that show. I
Why
never
would
thought
you?
that was. I never thought he was entertaining.
It's not, but Audrey Landers or Judy Landers, one of the Landers sisters, is in it, and
It makes it worthwhile.
that was the
yeah.
reason I was watching as a kid.
Yeah, that makes sense. No, but Small Wonder was just like, who the fuck thought of this show?
And the worst acting you've
Terrible.
ever seen, I guess on purpose, so the girl looked like a genius.
She was
I am into
awful.
drugs.
She was terrible. You could. It was like
She was better than everyone on that show.
Yeah, it was like a brother on the show.
A horrible actor. Jamie was her brother. I just know because I saw
Yes.
the episode. They were busting a drug dealer, and the girls lifting up the drug dealer by his belt, and they're like, "What's going on?" And then the brother goes, "That's as high as you're gonna get, buddy."
That's good writing right there.
Yeah, sure is.
That is some good
But that's I
writing.
explained to them about the 80s and how everybody was high on cocaine. And I showed them the 86 Mets and Lawrence Taylor from the 86 Giants. And then the guy who wrote Alf was on heroin. So I was trying to explain how it works because it comes into play later.
Are you a baseball fan?
Me?
Yeah.
Well, I like the Mets.
Yeah, well, next time we have you on here, we got to do the Mets video of "Let's Go Mets Go."
What's that? I don't know it.
Oh, yeah, we'll save that for the next
Oh, I
time.
know Ed Kranepool just died last week. We're
And,
very,
and the funny thing is, I had seen him like 2 weeks earlier.
here, wait, you'll appreciate this one thing. I made that movie about the Cars, right? 'Cause
Yes,
this
yes,
is
I
usually
heard
a
about
music
this.
thing. So me and my friend Kevin Cash, who played Ben Orr in the movie, I played Rick Ocasek. What we wanted to do, but
You played Rick Ocasek?
yeah, I got fatter as the movie goes on, but that was not in the script. That was turned out to be the gag. That's what David
What
Tell
did
goes,
you?
"Hey, Rick Ocasek, ease up on the pasta," and I'm like, "That's not the line in this." But anyway, we wanted to appear on Kiner's Corners. They have Rick Ocasek and Ben Orr appear on Kiner's Corners, that Ralph Kiner show that
Yeah,
aired
of
after the
course.
Mets games with Ed Kranepool. Like that was our dream. But we're like, who's gonna get that gag? The movie's already stupid enough as it is.
Did Ed Kranepool ever look young?
I don't think so. Not as far as I know. Even as a kid, he looked really old. Yeah, he
He
looked like he was 40 when he was playing in the
he looked
60s.
40. He didn't look like he had a muscle on him. Like he looked like if you told me, his brother is Fred Gwynn, I would have believed it.
Shut up. Oh, if you said, okay.
Yeah.
I thought this was a revelation. I was about to just go crazy.
Yeah, it would have blown your mind. That would have been a great way to end this show.
Yes. Yeah.
And we should start that rumor that Ed Gwynn is brothers with
Yeah.
Ed
That'll really take off.
Yeah, if this was like 40 years ago. Anyways,
Take off on TikTok with the kids.
Dave, thank you so much, man. This was so much
Thanks
fun.
for having me, as always.
Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure. And like I said, folks, please continue to watch and subscribe. And we have some great shows coming up in the fall. And we started off with a great one. Thank you so much, guys.
Bye.
Thank
All right,
you.
we'll see you next time. Bye, everyone.